Is episode 191. RLR here, talking anime. More Higurashi. Previous episode was Higurashi When They Cry Season 1. We're going right into it with Season 2, because Tori's back, yet again, and he's going to be back for the foreseeable future, it seems. A lot of shows that you want to be a part of.
Alright, I see how it is. It seems, alright, yep, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll leave.
No. Glad to have you.
I heard we're doing Kodomo no Jikan and straight up came back. Look at that.
First of all, I came back for Higurashi. I also tried to get you to remove. I tried to come up with any excuse to get him to remove Kodomo no Jikan from the list, and he just pushes it down. And I'm just like, really? Are you fucking kidding me? I thought I devised up like this I thought I devised up this perfect scheme to get rid of it, and he just puts it down one on the list. Like, man.
I know you can do both seasons of Bucket to Test together. Don't worry about it. It's only 26 episodes.
Finally, I got rid of Kodomo no Jikan. Finally, I got rid of Kodomo no Jikan. Wait, why is it still on the list? Oh, I'm not getting rid of it. Fuck you. What do you mean you're not getting rid of it?
I say we just replace it with High School of the Dead, because that qualifies now.
I 100% agree.
Sure, let's do that. I don't mind watching High School of the Dead.
Look at that, Tori. It didn't take much at all. You should have just said, JD, don't you have any suggestions?
I'm still not... He's just going to push it down one more again.
And then we just keep replacing it with a show we all want to watch.
Yeah, but he's not replacing it. He's just moving Kodomo no Jikan. That's the problem.
So yes, the summer anime season is upon us. It's a week or so away. So we're doing the preview here. Kind of just building my watch list, so to say, and then we also have the moving bar. So let's just fucking.
JD uses those too.
That's right. That's right.
Uses watch list.
And the moving bar, which means summer 2010, is now available to be reviewed. So any show from that time, like High School of the Dead, #1 show.
The #1 show. I mean, listen.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that says a lot about summer seasons, because High School of the Dead is awesome. But realistically speaking, if we do look at what summer seasons usually bring us, it's not it's not necessarily the best season during a year, I would argue, almost ever.
Yep. And I think I said it before, but I find it extremely weird that summer is usually very weak, because the Japanese summer vacations happen in August. So, like, you'd assume that when most of people are probably on vacations and can spend time, wasting their lives in front of the television during, I don't know, 2, 3 a.m. when usually the anime's aired. Well, with some exceptions, like almost being 5 p.m. because of horse racing in Japan, it's usually 2, 3 p.m. You would assume that we're going to just put the good stuff in summer, but no.
Yeah, although I will say this, right? I will say this.
Winter, spring, fall, everything but summer.
I will say this, especially when it comes to summer 2010, right? While summer 2010, the shows that came out then was mostly kind of weak. When you do look at what was currently ongoing, it kind of does make sense that it didn't matter that much. Ignoring the big three like Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach, and obviously Fairy Tail, you also had shows like Kaichou Maid-sama that continued, K-On! Season 2 continued, Katanagatari was still ongoing, Dragon Ball Kai, Rainbow, Conan. Like, it's just like, at least back then there was a lot of fun shows to watch that kept going from the previous season. So
yeah, and a lot of those shows finished up in the last few years don't really have the same landscape that it used to have, which is why when we're previewing kind of summers these days, they're kind of equaling out with each other with spring and fall. I don't really get that same disparity between seasons as in years past.
Yeah, I mean, we could also argue that the quality of the writing and creativity of anime is going downhill for the past few years. So maybe it's not that it equalized itself in a positive way. It's just that the rest got bad.
You could certainly make that argument and opinion, absolutely.
All I'm saying is we're getting a fucking show about a Santa in summer. Honestly,
Yeah,
anime is
well,
dead at this point.
It's winter.
Anime is dead at this point. I didn't realize you fucking celebrated Christmas in July, Icky.
It depends. It's fucking cold, so
Sure,
might
but
as well.
I don't really think that matters. I don't think that's how
You just-
Christmas works.
You put everything. You just don't call it Christmas. You know, you decorate your house. You put some little flags on stuff and lights, but it's not Christmas. It's on. It's like
It's legally
July.
distinct
It's like
Christmas.
it's called July activities, and it's exactly just it's like no, we're just celebrating like the saint. Like also
Yes.
like Christmas. No. It's not Christmas.
It's not like
It's
Christmas.
July festivities.
It's not like Christmas. Do you give gifts? Yes. Mm-hmm.
We go to festivals. We go to little.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's this
Looks
big
like
fat
those-
old dude. He's got a list. He's checking it twice.
But it's not. It's not Christmas. But however, we still do celebrate stuff in June, July, and sometimes August. We celebrate a lot here.
I can tell. The Club World Cup's been going on. I can tell.
Yeah, the Club World Cup is amazing. They should do it from 2 to 2 years instead of 4.
I feel like you don't really understand how many Brazilians there are online until a sporting event that involves Brazilian teams appear.
You're not
There's a
wrong.
lot of people.
Why is there this huge influx of Portuguese I'm seeing in my life all of a sudden? Ah.
Oh, JD, just wait for the World Cup next year.
Oh my god, yes.
You're gonna see a lot more Portuguese.
Not just online. You'll be walking outside and suddenly there'll be a bunch of Brazilians in the street and you're wondering why they're there and not where they're playing games.
Well, there is a large Portuguese immigration thing here in eastern part of Rhode Island. So
I know there's a road with my name in on it, my last name.
Nice.
It's a little bit weird to see in
Nah, that's normal.
the United States.
There's a street near me that has my name on it.
Well, but, I mean, well, which one?
Not the first one.
It's like because it's like, well, of course you. I was just like, oh yeah, but like having an Italian street is kind of weird in Norway.
I'm sure it exists somewhere. Not that I know it off the top of my head.
all right, so the moving bar guys shows
Yes.
that now qualify. High School of the Dead was mentioned immediately. Then there's Shiki, which
They're
is
chicky.
kind of an up and down show for a lot of people, mostly on the down area, but there's just not a lot of horror mystery shows in abundance. So Shiki seems to
Yep.
be at the top of that list, and why
And
a lot of
Shiki's
people
not
end up
even a
watching.
horror or a mystery. Shiki's about vampires and a bunch of slaughtering.
Yes, that's considered horror in that.
I don't know about that. I disagree.
At least give it supernatural.
Sure. I'll
Okay.
give it supernatural.
All right.
I mean, yeah, there's vampires.
Yeah. And vampires' biggest weakness, tractors.
Yeah, obviously what everyone knows that show to be.
Jesus Christ.
Man. I don't know
My
what...
man, Nicky, you need to get a fucking...
What?
You need to get some noise cancelling on your mic or something.
Oh my
Holy
god.
Fuck.
Oh,
We got cats, we got jet engines going off.
I was
Shitty
I was
Pika.
expecting that to pass, and that shit just never ended.
Why was that so funny? I don't know. It was great. Okay. What other shows from summer 2010 has...
Setokai Quindomo!
What is
Yeah.
that?
The only good show that Gohans has ever made.
That's impossible. They've never made a
It's
good
a show about dirty jokes,
Yep.
essentially.
Yep. Played in the most straight man way possible. Everything is a dirty joke, always, no matter what. But none of the characters, except for our main character, is ever going to fucking recognize it as one. They say the most out-of-pocket shit for no reason. And I think it's weird that everyone reacts so strongly to it.
Let's see.
It is just a pure comedy. And if you like dirty jokes, the best kind of comedy.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that show at all.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're not familiar with
there's-
the Gohan's best ever show and only good show?
Can't say that I have.
Man.
There's another show who does parallel worlds, even though it doesn't. It's not about horror in this case, which is Amagama SS.
Okami and
Yeah,
her 7
true.
companions. I have no recollection of watching the show, but I apparently have.
Nice.
Dude.
That clearly had a fucking massive impact on
I
you.
guess so. Man.
You know, you gotta love those when we do go through this and you find a show that you watch and you're like, did I? When?
Happens a lot.
Apparently, I watched it in May of 2017.
Damn. Was it on one of your quests?
It had to have been.
So then the real question is, why was it on your quest?
That is a great follow-up question. I can't answer that.
because it's Amagami. What do you mean? Of course it's gonna be on.
No, Amagami
list.
was not on the list. I have seen
See?
it though. I'm talking about Okami.
Oh,
Oh,
Okami-san. Yeah. That's actually, you know that were you around?
yeah.
You know, were you
I
around in
watched
the
that
OS
show.
Yeah, were you around? You were around in the OS forums
Give it
when
an
we did the
8.
watch
I like
along
the
for it,
show.
weren't you?
Oh, that might have been. Yes.
Yeah, because this was an awful show.
Yeah, it was bad.
I like the show. I'm the only person who likes the show. I don't care. And I really don't care. I enjoy the show. I wish there was a second season, but of course it would never happen.
Mickey, this was an awful show. Okay, I gave it a 6 back when I used to give everything a 7 and above. All right, like this show was terrible.
I give it an 8.
Oh my god.
See, I have it at a 5.
Yeah. Nah,
Both
so I'm pretty
that
sure
and
that's,
Amagami.
yeah, that's probably where it comes from. I mean, we probably were a part of the watch along for that.
Yeah, because that. Let's see. Yeah, that's exactly when that was. I think you're right.
Hmm.
Let's see, more strike witches for
Timeline adds
Hickey.
up. Yeah.
I
No
kinda,
one loves strike witches as much as Icky.
Yeah, nobody does. How come we haven't covered strike witches?
I don't think we're gonna cover strike witches at all.
I hope we don't. At this point, I'm just committed to never doing it. Just because I like the joke more than you being the only person that likes strike witches. I like that too much.
Gonna be 5 hours of podcast of me ranting about historical World War II aces.
Meanwhile, I'll just be like, why are they wearing bloomers?
It's because of the magical power, man. You don't understand,
Don't
dude.
get it.
You're right, I don't.
You don't understand, dude.
God, that pretty much
Like, why are we
covers.
glorifying Nazism. You don't understand, man. It's important for the plot.
Yes, of course.
God, and that's it for summer 2010. It's like list over already. Wow.
Well, there's
I mean, like I said, it's all in the
There's
continuing.
Black Lagoon. Hold on. There's Black Lagoon as well.
Yeah,
Black
Roberta's
Lagoon
Blood
that can
Trail.
be watched.
It's
Roberta's
OVA's at
Blood
the
Trail.
bottom though. Yeah.
OVAs don't count.
There's the original OVA for Black Rock Shooter,
Yeah, there sure is.
which I think watched twice, and I still kind of don't understand the endings. I think it's kind of bad.
Yeah, you're not kidding
I went to
about all
watch
these
it,
shows
God.
continuing. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, everything. Like all. I mean, obviously, some of them were long-running shows, like Naruto Shippuden, One Piece, Bleach, Fairy Tail,
Yeah, but
Katekyo
that's
Hitman Reborn. Those shows.
that's taking up the block right there.
Yeah.
All right,
Dragon Ball
what the
Kai, but even
hell
outside
is
of that, like
Cat
Katana
Shit
Gatari?
1?
But even outside of those, like Katana Gatari, K-On! Second Season,
Yeah.
Kaicho wa Maid-sama, Rainbow, like there's some good shows.
Bakuto Test O&A?
Sure.
Sure.
Giant Killing, that's an underrated show.
You think that's underrated?
Yeah, Giant Killing.
You really think that's underrated?
Yeah, I do. I don't think it's fantastic. I think it's good.
Okay.
Yeah. I wish there was more.
Yeah. Summer 2025. You guys
Yeah,
ready
there's
for
the
Don
summer
Da
this
Don
year,
Da Don
too.
Da Don Season 2?
2025.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, second season. That's obviously on everyone's list, right?
Of course. I didn't finish the first season.
Oh, come on, Tori.
What?
Come on, man.
It's
I told you.
impossible to
Do you
watch.
remember why I haven't been on the podcast for a couple months?
Yeah, it was to catch up on all that anime you haven't watched.
Yeah, of course. I should have. Nah, I couldn't be bothered. But nobody cares about Dandaran's second season. The only thing people care about, which is why it's so far down the list, goddamn, is Grand Blue Season 2.
Oh, come on. No one cares about that.
Oh, Grand Blue Season 2 is great. Well,
No.
I don't know, but Grand Blue Season 1 was good.
Yeah.
So by that logic... So by
I
that
remember
logic, Season 2
everything
is
that
going to be
happened
worse
on-
because Season 2 is always worse than Season 1, but then Season 3 will be amazing.
Rascal does not dream of Santa
Remember
Claus.
everything that happened on Grand Blue Season 1.
Yeah, for sure. Everything.
Everything.
Up
Many
to the
naked
detail.
men and alcohol. And shows that on the fucking the promotional image has a bunch of naked men and alcohol. So yeah.
Yeah. Listen, man. Part of me was like, do I rewatch Season 1 to remember what happened to go into Season 2? But I was like, no. This show is about being fucking blackout drunk all the time and not remembering shit about what happened yesterday. So of course I'm going to go in not remembering anything. It'll be like I was there.
Yeah. It's like my Sunday mornings.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got Christmas in July. But Seishun Butayara wa Santa Claus no Yume wo Minai.
Second season of what Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girls.
Yeah, a show I watched
only the
pretty
second
recently.
season?
Yeah. The first
But
season
it's
came out in
not-
what,
it's not-
2017?
It's not, sorry. They made continuation movies.
Yeah,
so you
they make
need to
movies,
watch the continuation movies before watching this.
Oh, really?
True. I never watched those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I got a project then I got to do then.
same apparently.
Yeah, I same.
Huh.
Same, I kind of ignored the movies. I was like, there's no way they're gonna just
Yeah, because I was like, I remember them
continuation
announcing
movies
like
for Seishun Butayaro.
I remember they announced a bunch of
fuck.
sequels, and I was like, is this really only second season? I was like, oh yeah, there's only movies. Man. I saw the first movie, or I saw they announced the first movie, and I was like, I'm watching that, and I never did. Classic me. Every time I see something, like, ooh, that's something I like. I'm gonna watch that. Don't watch it. Never do. It's in the trusty plan to watch list where shows go to die.
I don't think I'm going to continue with Kaiju number 8.
I also didn't.
Yeah, there's something about it that's not clicking with me.
Yeah, that first episode
Which
didn't
one?
do it for me. Kaiju number 8.
I think they just revealed
Oh,
his
Kaiju.
secret to the world like too quick.
Yeah,
You know, the kind of
Probably.
mystery or suspense of him getting caught is gone, and I kind of like lost interest with that because now he's just gonna like be a government stooge or research project.
Yeah.
It's the feeling I get.
So who's watching the fourth season of Rent a Girlfriend? I heard the manga recently ended and everyone loved that.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to think about like the ending of that.
Oh, it's that bad, eh?
No,
The
I
entire
don't
thing is
know.
bad.
I don't want to hear. Yeah, dude, the whole thing is the whole premise is. It's impressive that it had fucking, I don't know, 300 chapters and 4 seasons. Like,
It is. And I think
it
the
is
most
one of the
impressive thing is
saddest. I watched the first season. I watched half of it. I was like, this is the saddest thing I ever seen in my life. And I live in a country where sometimes I see people reduced to minced meat.
Right.
So, you know, I was like, this is
It's very relatable, is what you're saying.
No. But no, the saddest thing is actually the fact that
dude, it's so sad. Like it's the fact that there's someone out there who conceptualized and wrote this story is like really, it's a really sad thought.
yeah, but
Just
not
saying.
even that. The fucking ending though, like I love the fact that
I
after
don't know.
all of
I
this,
don't know about the ending.
no, after all of this, it all ends with the author just cucking the main character.
Oh man, that's a thing that happens. Oh,
Basically.
oh.
Because after all of that shit, the main character does not get his girl, and then the author goes out to be like, she's mine.
What?
Yeah, he self-deserted himself
Oh.
and stole the main girl. Yeah. It's
Then what
it's
do you
like
what
that-
do you what do you go
there's-
through all that story for then? That's so
I don't know.
stupid.
I mean, people have been paying attention to it. It's why it has 4 seasons.
The dude is paying woman to date him.
No, I've seen the
Yeah,
first
with
season
no
and I
happy
got
ending.
I got through I think 4 or 5 episodes of the second season and it's just I'm like why is it so hard for them to just admit like what they're doing?
Kanojo okimaimasu, by the way. Spoilers of the ending. It's shit.
No.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, it's so sad, dude. If it had like an itchy tag on it, and at least there was like, I don't know, some sort of compensation for the compensated dates, but no, it's so bad.
Instead, it has the harem tag. Now he has to be cucked from all angles.
Then it's not even a harem, it's just a cuck show.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's a 300 episode, what, like almost 10 years of serialization
Oh.
cook story. Yeah. Get fucked by the author, by the way, because it's him who solves the crime. And he went on and boasted about it on Twitter as well. He doesn't give a shit. This is
To
a
be
menace to
fair,
society.
Like, I will give him this at least. What the fuck were people expecting?
I don't know, finish
come
it.
on.
Finish it in a way that won't piss off your audience.
But he's been trying to piss off the audience the entire time.
That's the whole point of this thing. There's no love involved. It's just money, dude.
Brutal.
You're paying a woman to hold your hand.
All right,
It's
I
like
was planning on
really
finishing
sad.
the second season and catching up, but now I'm just dropping it. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
forget it.
Man. Good times.
God.
Speaking of good times, new Pantheon stocking with garter belts.
yeah.
Yeah.
And a new animation by Kyoto Animation with the same people who did
Yeah,
Nichijou.
City.
City the animation.
Yeah. City.
The animation. City is the manga.
know.
City the animation is the animation. Come on.
Yes. But it's City. It's called City. We got new Arc Knights. Let's go.
Oh, amazing.
Woo. Everyone loves the story to Arc Knights, I think. There's definitely no other reason why people play that game.
There is JD's Turkey, of course.
Yes.
Oh yeah, right. The fucking bowling
It's
thing.
Let's
exciting to
go.
watch. There's also another
Hey,
show that JD would love. That is the Introduction to Mineralogy,
Oh yeah. Also,
because it's essentially his life.
yeah, but like just as a general, never say JD's Turkey ever again, please.
What?
I have a turkey in my
JD's Turkey, man.
freezer.
Okay. Never again. I don't ever want to hear that. Oh man. What else do we got? Oh yeah, the Cat's Eye ONA is coming out, which God, I'm not looking forward to that.
Where's that?
On ONAs.
Ooh. Okay, hold on.
Cat's Eye. Leading Films Cat's Eye.
God, there's a lot of
produced
shows
for
this season.
Disney.
It's gonna take a long time to go through. Yeah, cat. Oh God, what is that? I'm seeing Cat's Eye. What
Yeah.
is that design that I'm seeing?
Yeah.
That's not great.
Nope. It's Leading Films.
Mm. Oh, so it's gonna be all like shitty CG shit.
Yep.
Yeah. That's disappointing.
It is. It is very disappointing. Oh well.
Yeah, I guess. Poor Cat's Eye.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it was strange enough that they even decided to bring it back for Disney, no less. But sure, go for it.
All right, let's see. Togen Anki. Individuals with Momotaro and Oni blood coursing through their veins maintain a long-standing rivalry. The Oni are careless, rash, and disorderly, while the Momotaro protect the human world from an uncontrollable Oni. Ichinose is reckless and irresponsible teenager, aware of his defiance and even proud of his expulsion from school. Okay, so we got delinquent attitude here.
Let's go.
His foster
We need more
father
delinquent anime.
cares about him deeply. All right, so he still has a loving family-ish kind of thing going on.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I need more orphan type feelings here.
There's not enough orphans in anime.
Yeah, Tsuyoshi selfless love is soon shown, and people getting hit by trucks, obviously.
Yes.
Explosive incident when a Momotaro barges in looking for Shiki. It's Momotaro himself. Tsuyoshi has been hiding Shiki for years and keeping his Oni origins a secret. Ooh. As he gives up his life to save Shiki and confess everything in his dying breath, Shiki's Oni blood awakens for the first time, transforming into an unruly monster, overflowing with rage and thirst for revenge. Attacks the attention, an Oni teacher at the academy, institution for young Oni in need of understanding. Okay, might give this a try. Seems action, school, fighting oriented. That could be interesting, I guess.
Everyone loves action school fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get many of those shows per season.
I was about to say. It's one of the most common genre combinations.
Oh, Call of the Night second season. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
By Leading Films.
Which I think it's also done.
I believe you're right.
I think the manga ended. Let's see. Things I am excited about. There is a lot of talk about the summer that Hikaru died.
Oh. Okay.
Hikaru ga Shindanatsu. The animation looks really nice. It's by Cygames Pictures, so they do really nice animation. It's the first time they're trying something that is not one of their games, I think.
Interesting. Horror, mystery, supernatural. Higurashi?
Yeah, just more of that.
In the city of Hinamisa. Sorry, the town.
It's like, wait, I've
The
heard
village.
this. Imagine if it was a city. instead of like this outskirt farm village.
I mean, I guess in a way it could have, but it would have been, international news a lot faster.
The fragrant flower blooms with dignity. What is this? Some Strama romance. Despite being adjacent to one another, Chidori and okay, this is the one where it's like an old boys' school and an old girls' school, and two people fall in love with each other. All right, simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple-ish so.
There is Futari Solo Camp as well. It's nice. Little nice story. Very adult. And camping. Camping in the school.
So it says on Gen Kinokura, a devoted solo camper. Lies. In the picture, there are two people.
Lies. There are people there. I see them.
And
Look.
It's important for the plot, man. That's why it's called Futari Solo Camp. It's our solo camp. They're together for this solo camping.
Absolute fucking lies. False advertising, man.
Also, the whole manga is a advertisement for Stanley Cups. The whole time.
Not to be confused with hockey.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
And you can see them holding them on the fucking promotional picture.
Yeah, so I'm probably not gonna watch that. I'll be too busy watching Turkey. Yeah, that one
Gotcha,
definitely.
Look, Tori, you gotta watch it. Come on, man. How could you
I
not?
guess I have to. I have to watch JD's Turkey. God. Wait, we got a food court anime? Food court Matashita? Shit. Who doesn't love food courts?
There's some like a girl love harem this season I've seen talk about.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
What's the name?
There's no freaking way I'll be your lover unless.
Damn. What's the actual name that it says? Not now.
Watashi go Kobito
ni
Ninaru
Wakenai.
Wakenai. Muri Muri.
There it is. I scrolled
Muri
right
Muri.
past it and didn't even know
Muri
my
Muri.
studio
Jarakata.
mother. Renako Amori is leaving her awkward and lonely junior high school life behind.
I believe
determined to
it's
become
like a bunch of
normal
girls
girl with
trying to turn
normal
this one
friends
chick
in high
lesbian.
school. Glamorous, confident Mayusuke is Renako's total opposite. Wealthy, outgoing, and a literal fashion model.
Mhm.
Against the odds, the two... Whoops. Against the odds, the two girls form an immediate connection. Renako thinks she may have found the best friend of her dreams until Mai's romantic confession sends her into a tailspin. Renako wants to prove to Mai that being BFFs is better than being girlfriends, but Mai is dead set on convincing Renako that they're destined to be lovers. Let the love games begin.
That's right.
One of those.
Yeah, you got to be a. It's how to convince your girl to be a lesbian.
Yeah. Of course.
Why would you
Everyone
not?
should do that.
Every girl should do that. Yeah, then they'll leave me alone.
And there's also Mikado no Sanshimai wa Angai Choroi as well.
Ah, yes, that one.
If you like
How PA works.
cool
Oh.
videos.
What'd you say, Hickey? Which one? Which show?
Come on, man. Mikado sisters are easy, I think, in English.
Mikado's sisters are easy. Okay.
Easy on what?
Exactly that.
I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. I don't understand. I don't speak that language. Man, I don't want to subject myself to that because I know that it's fucking PA works. I just know what's happening.
What about Studio Gokumi with Necronomicon no Cosmic Horror Show?
No cosmic horror show. What the theme video games. Monday. We all need to change our lives. Miko Kurono, who began her dream career as a live streamer under the name Necronomico after graduating middle school, amid spending her days with childhood friend Mayu Saka, and rival Ken Nakagura Saka, she is introduced to a new VR game project. Upon encountering the game, the girl starts pursuing the irreplaceable now. Pass.
A lot of horror stuff this season.
Is it horror?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Christmas in
I guess-
July,
I guess, yeah, I
and-
guess a video game.
It's
I
in
guess a
the-
VR
it's
video
in the
game
title.
adaptation is horror. Yeah, sure.
It's in the
Okay.
title, Necronomical
Yeah.
Horror Show, so I hope it is
That doesn't-
horror.
That doesn't mean anything. It could be a complete just bamboozle, you know. At least we have some sort of horror, you know, like JD's favorite Yami Shibai is back for season 15.
Oh wait, is that? Wait, season 15?
15.
Yeah, what? Did I miss a joke here?
I don't know. Did you?
Yummy.
I mean, I think you missed a few seasons apparently.
Yeah.
There's also a One of Cat's Eye coming out, so
yeah,
hey,
we talked about that earlier.
but it's only
We did.
September.
We talked about that already. My man is so checked out.
I don't know. My internet went out a little bit,
Oh,
Ah,
so I wasn't here.
what do you mean Yamishiba? I don't see this. What show is this you're
No.
talking about? Oh, there it is. What the
did you
fuck
not
is?
watch season 1 of this?
Did I? Did
Am
I
I
not?
crazy? I don't know. Go all the way back. Go through the other 14 seasons to see if you watched them.
All right, hold on. I don't think I've ever seen this show.
I swear you said you watched it, or at least intended to watch it.
Ooh,
No, I've never even like
Creepy
heard of the
Nuts is
show.
making the.
Damn.
Yeah,
Huh.
Then who watched the Yamishibai?
Someone said they were going to. I'm pretty sure it's JD, because it sure as hell wasn't me.
No, I've never heard of this show, Tori.
Man,
Oh.
he's so old, he doesn't even remember it anymore.
Dude, season 1 was in fucking 2013.
Yeah, it's been, yes! This is season 15, JD. Of course it's
How
been
could it
that
have?
long
How
as
could it?
season
How could
one.
it be season 15 when it was only 12 years ago? See, there's that's impossible.
It's because it's short. It's short stories.
Yep. They can release more than one season a year, JD.
Yeah.
Some people are just built like that. It's also
Oh.
avant-garde, so it's probably really weirdly made.
Oh, this show.
See? I'm not crazy.
I was gonna watch this show, and I
Yeah,
forgot
see?
about it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we're good. No, you're. I apologize. You're right.
See what I'm saying? You're getting old, JD. You're forgetting.
I have certainly forgotten a lot more than I've learned at this point.
Man, I knew that the joke was fucking wasn't going to be that easy to pick up on, but man,
Well, I had to
wasn't expecting it to fall that flat.
I had to really go through like what this show was, and like, oh, okay, yeah, I got it. All right.
That
we'll
was
go-
like-
we'll
I
go
was
with the
pulling one back
excuse that-
from the early days.
We'll go with the excuse I was very much distracted by the show Night of the Living Cats.
Yes, definitely.
I was very much distracted by that. Nothing else.
Yeah.
All right then.
Whoa, okay, hold on. Speaking of, Linden Films is making like a shit ton of stuff. What the hell's going on here?
Because it's Linden Films or Linden Films.
Yeah. They always do a shit ton of stuff.
They always do like 7 shows a season, and then wonder why they're all so bad.
Nagamo Keiichiro was a genius high school detective. No case was complex enough for him. But what happens to genius detectives when they get old? Now 35 with bad hips. Running a failing
Jeez.
detective agency with no cases to solve and struggling to pay rent, he's at his dead end. In comes a high school girl in his office who says she wants to work with him. Okay. With her help, will the out-of-touch, old-fashioned Nagumo get back the fire of his youth? Good God. They're basically telling me this guy's broken physically, mentally, and life sucks. And I'm older than this guy.
But it's okay, man. A high school girl will save his life.
Look, if a high school girl comes into my
It
place of
happens a
work
lot in
and then wants to
Japan,
help me out, I'm like, girl, I'll see you in like 10 years.
I'm here to help you up. No thanks, you. No thanks.
No thanks.
I don't feel like going to jail.
So, yeah, that's when I put both hands up and I go, look, not touching everybody.
I mean, man. Jail gets you a free room and food. So, you know, if you're in a really bad shape,
It
sometimes
depends
they even
on.
give you work.
I love
so.
how
It
the
depends on which
freaking.
country you're in.
I love how the summary goes now 35 with bad hips.
Same. I was like, God damn, I see. My fucking dude.
Like
Man,
usually
my life
when
is
you
over.
reference old age, it's the back that goes, but he's going straight to hips, like you're 75.
My life is over in a couple of years. That's fucked up. Jesus.
Right.
Oh man.
I got 6 years into a fucking old man with bad hips.
God, my hips are fine right now, and I'm older.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
For
you're
now.
peaking, dude.
Even my back is fine. There's nothing. I don't wake up in
For
pain every
now.
day.
Wait until you peak out, then we speak.
Like
Are you
my knee's
absolutely
better.
fine,
It
are you,
doesn't
Jamie?
hurt all the time like it did a couple years
That was-
ago.
Damn, he beat me too. I was gonna be like, man, you're all fine. How about your knee?
No, my knee's good. I changed some things up. Even my wrist is doing really well these days. Besides the golf injury where I hurt it, but
So it's only your memory that's going. Got it. Okay.
yeah, okay, yeah, right. Oh god, there's a lot of like trashy shows that I'll probably give a try this season. The list is endless. It seems.
I'm probably going to compile a list of shows that I'm going to watch and then not watch them like I usually do.
Right.
All right, your homework is to compile a list of shows you're probably not gonna watch. But you're interested enough to make a list of them.
That's most of them. Why would I do that? That's going to take more time.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Hickey are doing the fucking seasonal preview after, where we're watching the PVs and whatnot. So, you know.
Well,
I
you
guess that's
gotta
where I'm
tell
gonna
me how the
compile a list.
you gotta tell me how the preview of Old Man with Bad Hips show goes.
I'm gonna send you the link. Don't worry about it. So you can watch it now.
Yeah, dude, just sit through like
Because
3 hours.
I think I watched it. I think I watched the PV already for that one.
Man, oh my
Because
god.
because I'm subscribed to the producers' channels on YouTube, and they post every single PV.
That's
It
amazing.
is very Japanese.
No way.
Yeah, but like it's very Japanese. If you ever seen a Japanese comedy show or comedy stick, it's that. It's very out of touch as well. It's very old comedy, ironically.
So no pen pineapple. Apple pen.
No,
Oh god.
it's for people with 35 back problems.
Hips problems, Hickey.
I found the mineralogy show that you you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Ruri no Koseki, Introduction to Mineralogy.
I don't really need to watch that show. I already know it.
I mean, you can just critique it.
I,
Make a video of like, real mineralogist destroys this fucking anime woman with logics and
what a
facts.
what a fun YouTube episode that'd be, right?
Yep.
It's like everything is wrong. You just randomly find
Well, it's like
diamonds on the
Hoseki.
beach.
No,
What the
all it's
fuck?
gonna do is make me like angry, like Hoseki no Kuni.
Man. That show
I
was
think
so
this
good.
one
That show
less.
pissed me off.
That show is so good. So good. That one more. Where's season 2?
All the geologists got pissed off on it.
Yeah,
Now
same.
there's no sequel.
Oh, fuck you.
You're
Well,
welcome.
shit, dude. Wait until they discover there's moon people.
I was about to say,
They're gonna
are
freak
we
out.
seriously critiquing the fucking the show's understanding of minerals when the minerals are living people? Like for real?
They're not even the minerals. They are a bacteria that is actually humans that devolved into bacterial colonies and colonized rocks. And you telling me your problem is with the fucking minerals, dude?
Yes, exactly. If you're gonna devolve, do it properly.
Uh,
Shit, dude. I think devolving into a colony of single-celled individuals with a single shared brain is quite impressive, but sure. I mean, we also evolved into moon people, which I think it's cooler than, being a rock, but hey, it's whatever, right?
Oh god. All right, let's talk about some Higurashi season 2 here. Let me play a quick drop and we can get going. Here we go. Man, I haven't played that drop for Bakuzosoku in a while. Love that good old 80s type biker music stuffs. Okay, When They Cry Kai, or When They Cry Season 2, Higurashi Season 2, all kinds of different names. There's the sequel that there's the remakes that came out fairly recently. We mentioned that in the previous episode. Highly recommend listening to the previous episode before you listen to this one, because this is essentially a big revelation / spoiler / everything of the first season. So we're going right away into this. In the small village of Hinamizawa, Rika and her friends live together in relative harmony. Beneath the mask of peace, however, lies a hidden darkness, one that Rika understands all too well. In this eternal summer, she has been witness to unspeakable horrors. Every time the clock resets, Rika must try to find the villain behind these senseless deaths before tragedy strikes again. However, trying to decipher a mystery when only half the clues are present proves time and time again to be disastrous. At each time she believes that things will change, she inevitably fails. As the annual festival approaches, Rika begins her descent from hope to despair in her struggle to break the chains of fate entangling them all. So yes, that summary right there kind of tells you what the fuck is happening in Hinamizawa. It's by Studio Dean yet again, and the show came out in the summer of 2007. Where shall we begin, guys?
Well, it's extremely important that you watch the first season.
Well, yeah. This is not a case where I can just
Nah.
dive in to a second season.
Who are these
Then-
characters? Why are they acting like this? What is going on?
This is the last two arcs, I think, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Minagoroshi and Matsubayashi, which is the more answers and more conclusions about what the fuck is happening. It's essentially that. It's the answer to the mystery.
Yeah.
You
Answer
know,
to every mystery that
Higurashi
was not
works
answered in
as-
season 1.
Higurashi, it is a structure as like old like mystery short novels where they give you the case and then there's a sheet at the end with the answers. So essentially, you have the four first chapters or the first four arcs, which are the question arcs, and then you
Mhm.
have other four, which are the answer arcs, which also have the resolution in them and some extra information about motivation of the characters and whatnot. And so we get to the last two, which are for the resolution, the most important. Not so much for answers to the chapters they based on the question chapters. For example, you have Minagoroshi, which uh, is one of the most hopeful arcs, where like we can solve this, but there's a lot of misconception by Rika, our actual main character at the time, of who is guilty and who is not, and what are the rules apply to this. And in this arc, if we go back to the first season and uh, last podcast, Rena has an arc where she goes crazy because of you know uh, the main actual antagonist of the show, which is Takano Mio. She gives us some crazy shit, dude. Cannot believe that. She gives her like the scrapbook with some stuff about aliens and stuff.
Yeah.
It makes her Hinamizawa syndrome flare up, and she kills Rina, which is like this woman dating her father and trying to swindle him. And Minagoroshi, which they are trying to solve Satoko's problem with her uncle again, and like trying to not kill the uncle, right? Which is very important. It's important. Like no one needs to die, and they just say, oh, like he came back because this woman called Rina died, and so it's like, this is a failed universe as well. Even though Rika doesn't realize it, Rena most likely killed the father's girlfriend already.
Yep.
Like it's already failed. They throw that at you. It's like one line, and then you understand. You should understand that. Okay, this is a failed one, and we get like, although we get more information of who is the actual culprits of this, and more background around what is Yamainu and what is Tokyo and what the fuck is going on, and the city essentially finishes the story on Minagoroshi. You understand everything that's happening. Now it goes to the resolution, and the resolution is essentially power of power of friendship can make mercenary soldiers forget how to shoot.
Not wrong. You're not
It's kind
wrong.
of a little bit ridiculous, but yeah, it's a good. I think it's a good resolution to the story until you get to the end, the very end, which is an open end. Then I don't like open endings.
Yeah,
But
it really.
we'll get there.
Yeah, it really. It shouldn't have done that. How they finished off this big reveal throughout the show, and whole second season being dedicated to averting the mystery, as in they all kind of know what's happening at this point, and they just don't know how to tackle it. And it's a I mean, the whole purpose is Rika is going through constant failure of trying to stop X thing from happening, and she ultimately always fails and has kind of given up until XYZ occurs with Keiichi and whatnot. And all for the show to kind of finish the way it did, I mean, the whole purpose is to break the cycle, and then it really gives me the feeling that you'll just never break the cycle. It's just unending despair for forever. What did we kind of go on the ride for? Maybe there is something else at some other point in timeline that they will solve, and where we'll get to. But yeah, I didn't very much care for how the show ultimately leaves it that open. I, on the other hand, understand why you do that. Once you solve the mystery, then there's no point in continuing, kind of situation. I mean, the biggest show I can think of that fell into that was the show Lost. If you guys remember, like one of the biggest things was don't push the button, submarine deal. What's the black smoke monster? Once all that was like done, the show loses just a ton of interest and it loses its suspense. This keeps the suspense up until that point, but I got the feeling that if they would do more of this show after this or continue that story, that it would fall into that trap of it's just not good anymore. So maybe it's good that this show never had like a season 3 or anything.
It does, technically.
Well,
Yeah,
technically,
it
yeah,
does.
technically, but
Technically it does.
I won't be
For
watching that.
the original game, yes, for the original game, the 8 chapters, which you can buy on Steam,
Yep.
and individually they are kind of cheap, but it's 7 games. The first one is free, where you can read because again, there's a lot of information missing from the anime. It's more on the fact that you have like that little bit at the end where Rika, the grown-up Rika, traveled through time to the past to save Takano's Mio's fathers from dying, or parents from dying.
Yeah, the
So she
fucking
doesn't
war.
become an orphan. She doesn't go to Takano's Professor Takano's house. Becomes uh, obsessed with the researching Hinamizawa and get to like that point. But if you eliminate everything, you eliminate also the good ending where not only they saved everyone, but also there's a cure and a vaccine to the Hinamizawa syndrome. So if you save Takano Mio, you doom everyone else.
Yes.
And so like since the show tries to end with no sacrifices, you end up with this weird paradox that you went back to kill Hitler, but you doomed everyone regardless.
I guess,
Where
but
if
see,
you sacrifice her, you don't.
here's the thing, though, right? Because you know who that is, right? The character at the
yeah,
end.
it's the other one. I know.
Yeah, it's a so
Spoilers
there's more to Higurashi than just Higurashi.
Right.
So without going too much into that exactly, but this person is a reoccurring character in multiple of Seventh Expansion's stories. So here is sort of like I agree. I don't think it's the best way to end it, but I do understand her purpose because when you're talking about undoing all that stuff, and it's like yes, but that is kind of her thing, right? She loves chaos and
She's a
hates
bitch.
happiness. So it's like it makes sense. Her entire goal of this is to just reset the original timeline again.
Yep. For the other two, one show and the other one never had an adaptation, right?
Yeah. The Omineko's the only one that did get an adaptation, and Omineko's not very good. The adaptation. I want to read the actual novel. That's probably way better. Then you really get to see, well, not so much in action. She's still mostly in the background. You get to see one of the other witches in action.
Yeah. And then we go back to Higurashi for Sotsu and well, the new one. There's Outbreak and stuff, but like the ones where
The ones that matter.
shit went bonkers, like Sotsu and what is the other one?
Go
Sotsu is
and
the
Sotsu.
last season.
Yeah, Go was the
Go and
one before.
Sotsu. Where this character can apparently fucking possess other people. It's like, oh, they're not going crazy anymore, so I'm just gonna possess their body and make them go crazy. It's like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
I haven't seen yet, but I hope that's not the explanation for the Hinamizawa syndrome. It's just like that
Oh, it's
one
just
character
straight possession.
just possessing, possessing people.
Yeah,
so
I hope
there's
that's
no
not it
because like
either.
there's a theory that Hinamizawa syndrome is not real.
Hmm.
Well, like there's a sickness, right? But it's like all the psychological damage the characters suffer is from this witch possessing them. I think that would be so bad.
It would. So
It
for
would be.
me,
Like,
sort of based on what we know about Higurashi, for me, the way that because I think at this point it's pretty clear that like the whole sort of virus thing theory kind of doesn't really hold up because it doesn't make sense. What kind of virus would only react when something big happens? For me, I always sort of made sense of that as like it's more akin to mania than anything else. But I do agree that I do sadly think that there is probably like if you actually go into the context of stuff, there is probably more supernatural stuff at play, and I would not be surprised if they would go the possession route. But for me, I always like the mania theory more because that makes more sense with how sort of the levels of the Hinamizawa syndrome sort of escalate, because they always start escalating when some big traumatic and like extremely stressful situation arises, and then within 48 hours they go insane. I always sort of like the mania interpretation more, just because that would make sense. They're experiencing literally fucking earth-shattering events here, and they just break.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoy the like parasite thing.
Yeah, but it doesn't make
I don't know.
it makes
Because
no
it's like
sense.
it's more grounded. Because when you start watching it, it's like, oh, it's a parasite that lodges in your brain and changes your brain activity, and when you die, it disappears. Like, okay, sure. Makes sense they have drugs that they can use to stabilize and cure people. So like, what the fuck are they drugs about? For me, it's like fine, it makes sense, but then, and it's like the biggest point of the second season, which Tori hates the opening. I like the song of it. The song is nice. Uh, not not better than the first season,
The
but
first season is the
still a
best.
nice song. Which is Hanyu, and suddenly it's like, okay, there is a ghost with horns in the background the whole time. It's like, oh no, that's Oyashiro-sama. And you're like, okay, so Oyashiro-sama is real, and it's just like this innocent little kid, and people who were going crazy because of hearing sounds is Oyashiro-sama going around asking for forgiveness. Like, okay, makes sense, but there goes my nice, logical, scientific explanation because there is a god just stalking people.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
where
do.
season 2
Yeah.
kind of throws me off, is like your fear of, the curse is now officially real. The manic paranoia is actually just possession. Like all of these things being revealed as extreme supernatural instead of what the first season.
Being a possession is just a theory.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
Might
come
be
on.
because you know I want to believe in the parasite that came with the aliens, dude.
Yeah.
No, I want to believe
Okay.
it. I want to believe in mania. But,
I'm more
for-
into I'm definitely more into like a pollination of a certain flower that triggers when people reach a certain mental state that causes extreme
me,
paranoia.
For me, I think the most annoying
I
thing,
think
because like
that's
I
the
think
plot
it's
of
already
another anime.
discussed that sort of the curse isn't really real. The curse is made up. But the thing that
Yeah, the
I
curse is Hanyu.
don't, yeah, the thing,
The curse is on you, yeah.
no, like
Yeah,
she's
the
the
curse
god,
is
like
Hanyu.
no, but not that. I'm talking about the actual curse of Hinamizawa. That is made up.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
people
yeah.
dying.
The
Yeah, people dying.
the curse of Hinamizawa is made up, right? So what I don't like
Shirosama's
is
curse
what I
is-
don't like about this. Can I please finish my thought without you interrupting?
No,
So what I
you cannot.
no, I understand that. What I don't like is that they spent so much of first season hinting at the fact that like this is not supernatural. You think it's supernatural, but it isn't.
Right.
And we're gonna explain to you how this works.
Yep.
Only for then the second season to come in and be like, by the way, the supernatural elements are real. They do exist. Which is like, okay. But what's happening is not supernatural. But we need the supernatural to explain it, which I'm fine with the world resetting and like going to a different world when redoing the same thing. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. That's just that's just a plot device. But having like suddenly Oyashiro-sama herself just be like, okay, you know what? I guess I'm just actually gonna have to manifest in this world and do stuff, and it's like suddenly you have to really start suspending your disbelief because now God literally just came down in there and be like, I'll handle this myself, thank you. Which, why didn't you do that before if you could do that? That's fucked up, but okay. And other things like, I don't know, idiot
Don't
taking
bully Hanyu, man. She's cute.
Shion to the research facility to show him that like Satoko's brother is still in there alive, which was the most pointless thing. And why did you take her straight to the enemy potentially to get yourselves killed, only to walk in there and be like, "Please do not touch him. Let him be here." Like, why are we here then? Why couldn't we do this after?
To be fair, Edie is a dead weight, and Shion has
shit.
a AK-47. So like, what are you gonna do? One has a rifle. One knows how to use the rifle.
But they didn't need that hickey. They had Satoko's traps and screaming into
Not in the
mics that
facility.
scares. That's well, not in the facility, no. And I'm talking about in the. I'm talking about after, you know, when the soldiers are chasing after them, they're getting caught in kitty traps and you know, being scared by children speaking on the microphone.
Shion is not with them. They are
Shion is not with them, yeah.
Protecting Edie's ass.
Yep.
It's
For no reason.
Oh god.
Man, poor Takana, dude. She's a bitch, but holy shit.
She goes through some shit, doesn't she?
She does go through some shit. Here's the annoying thing for me, right?
Okay.
Because I understand what they're doing. They're trying to sort of humanize her and be like, you know, she, you know, like, yeah, she did a lot of shit, but like, she also got, you know, shitty cards dealt to her in her life. And it's like, yeah, I get that. I understand that. And I also understand that at the end they kind of tried to play it like she was being influenced by the effects of the Hinamisawa virus and whatnot, which made her go like extra insane. And it's like, all of that is fine. The problem still just arises for me with her, the fact that even with taking all of that into account, she started all of this many, many years ago, way before she got the Hinamisawa virus. So even though that might have helped her fucking take shit out of control, it's not what started it. She was already a psychotic bitch before that. That's my rant about her.
I like her. She's a psychotic bitch, yeah.
Yeah,
I enjoy
she's
her.
a psychotic bitch.
I think she's a good. Oh, it's unfortunate that she got used by a character that appears like a minute mostly.
The political plot twist at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like aside that, I think she's a great villain.
I like her as a villain. I think she's a good foil.
Fucking episode 2. Yeah. Well, she's.
I mean, if you know your mysteries, you always know that like the moment they introduce this, and you immediately have like, man, after those 2 people died, shit really started hitting the fan, huh? If you know your mysteries, you'll usually know that something here isn't right.
Oh no! Like in the first arc, they throw at you that, like,
it doesn't add up.
Already dead. And it's like, who was her? But of course, there's like the supernatural shit. It's like, oh, maybe, you know, maybe it's not her. Maybe people are hallucinating. Maybe there's something else. And then they throw another curveball in like second arc, where Maibara is in the hospital, and then Shion appears behind him. You know, because of the Hinamizawa syndrome making him go insane. So like, oh, maybe there's like this thing with multiple corpses, and you found the devil as well, like the whole thing with the devil possessing the bodies of Shion and Mion and stuff.
It starts out by giving you the most logical conclusion, and then start throwing other shit in there to confuse you.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting. It's just like, you just gotta believe, man. Just believe, man. That's the whole thing.
Listen, all right? It's all about the aliens.
If you have enough conviction, you can change fate. It's like, okay.
But not the aliens.
But not the aliens.
I do like the fact that when Mirena finds that, though, that whole scrapbook and whatnot, I do like the idea that, like, because we always hear, you know, when we see Mio's backstory, we see, like, you know, them laughing at her grandfather relations, sort of research and whatnot, right? It's like, it's so silly. So I do like this idea of like, because he was the other was like super determined that this is all true. I do like that in theory. It's just like, yeah, no, he literally did all that. With just, it's all the aliens, man. Them goddamn aliens. The only explanation is aliens.
I'm at a crossroad
like
here
that.
with this show, because
Yeah.
at first I really like the revelation and the timeline repeating, because it's like what you said, Tori. There's a lot of suspension of disbelief that it just gets to a point. Like, I can deal with the whole first season setting up that this supernatural stuff isn't actually real, and then there's this repeated timeline break the cycle sequence that you got to do. I can deal with that. But for some reason, the line is drawn there, because once it starts going into aliens and political schemes, and I mean, the show's supposed to be about
the
these, like,
aliens are probably a ruse.
well,
The
yeah,
aliens are almost certainly errors. My problem with the supernatural stuff is just the moment they introduce the literal god of the village. Like,
well,
just
yeah,
like,
that becomes
like no. It's one thing that Rika can see her again. If that's the amount of we're getting to, I would also be fine because it makes sense. Her being the embodiment of Oyashiro-sama and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. But when Oyashiro-sama literally just decides to join the show, like, I'm now a character in this show. I am now literally a person standing here and can interact with the world around me. My immediate question is, then why the hell didn't you do that before?
Yeah, there's a lot of
Because you had low
plot breaking
confidence,
things, or
man.
at least elements to the show that it dives into that, especially upon watching it a second time, it really takes me out of it and burns my interest for what's to come next, when this world breaking stuff just is now part of it instead of
JD,
being shrouded of
JD,
mystery.
JD.
What's up?
What's to come next is nothing but a bunch of fan service. Because what's to come next is Higurashi no Nakokoro ni Rei.
Ugh.
And I hope you like seeing young girls in skimpy outfits.
No, that's not what I'm into. That's not what a lot of people should be into.
Because that is what's next. That's the follow-up.
Yeah, it's junk, first of all. Like, when I watched
then
this
there's
the first
Outbreak.
Yeah.
Then there's Outbreak, which is basically just a zombie survival show.
Yeah, Resident Evil Outbreak, the anime.
JD turning off his PC and going straight to the church the moment Shiones appears with the waitress outfit. It's like, no, I'm not gonna finish the show.
God. And here I just came off of recording my PC 98 podcast on the retroGaming one. God.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which I think Higurashi came out for the PC 98, most likely.
Oh, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but let's see here. PC 98. I mean, I'm sure there's...
I mean, it's the first one is 2003, right?
2002. Yeah, okay, probably.
Yeah, it's 2002. It was sold in Komiki.
Oh.
So
says 7th expansion
believe-
Windows.
Yeah.
So I don't think that was PC 98, but some
So Windows XP.
Built on the end scripter.
2002.
Yeah, it seems to be originally for the PC.
Oh,
Yeah,
Windows
not-
2000.
Engine.
Yeah, it was 2000. So right on that back
Yeah.
end of PC 98 stuff. So not quite PC 98, but close.
It was too late, man.
Just too late.
They should have worked faster.
Hmm.
Released it a couple years earlier.
God. Yeah.
I mean, they're very good arcs, regardless. I
Yeah.
enjoy them. There's not a lot of mystery anymore.
Mhm.
Not a lot of killing as well. It's more like an action show.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it. I think the last arc is kind of the weakest, but
I would agree.
there's nothing you
Yep.
can do, right? Everything's exposed. You're essentially fighting for survival now,
Mhm.
but it's
way they
very
obtain survival is-
childish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that I do
Sure.
kind of find a little funny, I wasn't prepared. I didn't remember that part about the second season, is how fucking wild it starts. Because like the first season is like it's crazy in the form of like, you know, how brutal it is and the killings and the gore and all of that. But then the second season starts and we're just like, man, who the hell are these characters? Why are they acting so weird? Why is everyone a pervert suddenly? Why are they hammering so hard in on this? And then I remember it's like, oh yeah, right. Now I remember why.
Yeah.
Then I remember who made this now. Never mind. It's a good show though. I still enjoy it. Even with everything taken into consideration, I do enjoy it. I like the way the mystery sort of gets exposed. I don't necessarily like how they solve the infinite loop, just because there's some goddamn suspension of disbelief that has to happen for that to work out. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's like I don't even know how you would do this, because it's like, I mean, realistically speaking, the moment you pit a group of children against the military, you've already lost.
Yeah.
But they're just a counterintelligence group. Like, so? The other ones are literally in primary school. What's your point? Takano herself has more fucking brain cells than all the children combined.
Not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, the whole like
Yeah.
government research
And it's not a lot.
facility. Yeah.
It is not a lot.
Okay, I'm ready to score this thing.
Mhm.
Ultimately, it's still a good show that I vastly enjoyed watching. A complete rewatch of all 50 episodes of Higurashi together. I think the first season is much stronger than the second one, and even upon a rewatch, my rewatch of the second season was I was slightly more down on the show, but not much. My original score was an 8. I'm just bringing it down to a 7. The ending was very weak, and too much of the supernatural becoming real kind of took me out of it as well. So it actually goes down in score just a tad for me.
Damn. All right. So obviously,
I mean, it's the same. I'm not gonna add anything. Same. Goes from an 8 to a 7. The second season goes to a 7, but it's essentially kind of the same thing. It's okay. I think I give it its call. It's like a dojin game from the 2002s. The guy just woke up on the from a very bad night of sleeping, and I don't know, with the power of cigarettes and a lot of alcohol, wrote this thing alone, drew everything, went to Comic, sat there, and sold 2 copies of the game. It's like, oh, is this a game? No, no, no. This is a sound novel.
Oh yeah,
So it's like a visual
I could
novel
feel the
with-
cigarette getting blown. This is not a visual novel.
Yeah,
this is a
just-
sound novel. Ooh,
Just
okay.
remember, just watch that with Welcome to NHK. It's essentially that. And it's like, no, no, it's a sound novel. It's like, so I don't play, I don't make choice. No, no, no. So it's a visual novel with adventure. No, no, no. It's a sound novel because you get immersive by the sound. Also, you, damn, dude, this game is fucking 2002 and you put full voices in this game. No, no, no. There's no voices.
There's no voices.
There's ambience. There's ambience.
there's
Only ambience.
ambiance. Come on now. Get it right.
Ambience. So the dude sold like 2 copies of it, and
Hey, those 2 people really liked it.
They did. Thank God they did. But it ends up as like it is a amateur,
Yeah.
story. So I'm not gonna, hold the guy to like the standards of hold.
I could absolutely
established
look, Hickey.
writers.
I could
of this
absolutely
kind of
see the
industry,
scenario where
so-
people walk up to his table and the second he says sound novel, they put that shit back down and go, "Oh, I'll see you later, man."
Yeah, because like you gotta remember it's 2002. You already have things like from the Dojin side, you have stuff like Fate coming out. the Typemon stuff has
Yeah.
been out for a while, and they are all doujin games. And like, and you're telling me you cannot produce a game with choices? There just needs to read. But again, that's
Fuck your
2002.
choices.
It's also, and it doesn't look very pretty with the regional sprites even for 2002. So like I'm not gonna hold the guy for like like Uberman standards. So even though it's weak, I think it's justified. He told his story. He needs a justification and he needs a conclusion. The story ends in Minagoroshi. Now it's just fun stuff. Let's survive. Power of friendship. Let's go. Hanyu, best girl. The end.
The end. Yeah, I mean, obviously, for us that watched or listened, for us that watched this sound novel the last time, we obviously this is now like the second time I watched this. I watched this way back in the day, and I absolutely love Higurashi. This was one of my favorite anime for a long time. I gave it a 10 back when I watched it. I'm still remaining that score, and I give it a 10 for the entire thing. I still absolutely adore this. Now, realistically speaking, I think I agree with the sort of where both of you guys are at. I think it's a 7 because there are absolute issues there, which I take more sort of offense to now than I did when I watched it originally back in the day. But I'm also just not capable of sitting there and being like, while I can critique that aspect of it, to sit there and lie and be like, don't lie to yourself. You fucking loved it all the way through, even through all of that. And yeah, I did. And fucking children just casually picking up weapons and being like, "Don't worry, I know how to use this." Like, oh yeah, you do. Of course you do. Don't worry, they got captured. Oh no, did they get killed? No, they're not dead because for some reason in this timeline the military are not killing them because reasons. So what happened? Well, it was all a lie. They were just playing at being knocked out, and now they got them when they weren't watching. It's like, what? Huh? No fucking way. The show is so dumb, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I still do. Perfect show. Literally no flaws. And not a 10.
Okay. Our next episode is well, Tori, why don't you tell us what it is? Because it's clearly my pick, I guess.
Oh shit, is it?
That's what people tell me.
No. Wait, yeah, right. Oh fuck, I didn't realize the heck you moved that one up. And okay, yeah. Next, we are actually talking about another show that I am very, very much looking forward to. 2 seasons actually of it even, and that is Baka to Test to Shokanju.
And that'll do it for this podcast. See you next time, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.